Hello everybody, so I just found a little video which I never finished. It's from 2008 and it's a video about how to make a DIY LED Flexlight inspired by DIY Perks. So here it is.
What's up everybody, my name is Kasper Nørgaard and today we're going to talk about my DIY LED light. So this is my DIY LED light, which is inspired by DIY Perks, who is inspired by Westcott Flex. I have made a little control box where I can control the intensity of the light, and I also have the ability to control which kind of light I want. Do I want daylight? Or do I want tungsten? Or do I want to mix it? So if we take a closer look, I've made the light possible to mount on a, right now it's a microphone mount. With some aluminum. If we take it off this stand, I can show you that it's pretty rigid because it's only made out of false leather and some LED strips, so I can actually fold it like I want to. I made every corner with a little pocket, which the aluminum fits into. This light is pretty flexible. I can fold it like that shape I want to. As an upgrade to DIY Perks, I have made every corner with magnets. So if I am close to iron, I can mount this LED light to all of these surfaces. As an example, I have some metal here, and by aligning the corners, I can mount the LED light without a problem. So this is actually my first 3D print, which is drawn in Fusion 360. I've made these knobs to control the light. And if we take a quick look inside, you can see some of the components. I would say it's a good idea to draw some of the holes a bit larger because I had to drill out some of the material to make this wire fit.
And here is how to build it. The materials you need are material that you can bend, textile glue and silicone based. And you need LED lights, warm and cold, and you need some false leather. I used some false leather. You can also use another fabric. Start by measuring 38 by 38 centimeters in a square and cut it out. And you need some LED strips. You have to cut them 30 centimeters. You need 16 tungsten and 16 daylight colored. So 32 all in all. Just make a square where you want to place these LED strips at 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters and apply the glue to the fabric and put the LED strip on top. And you have to switch between the tungsten and the daylight. Here I am pulling a material off a wire, which will be included or soldered to each pole of the LED strip. And by making some adjustments, you are not exposing the entire wire, and you can just bend it up. So start by adding some solder to all of the LED strips, some of the sides. You can see that how these are wired up together. Start by wiring one side, wiring all the tungsten, and the other side wire all the daylight balanced. So you have them together like that.
There's a dime for the phone. I don't think she
These two squares, 5 by 5 centimeters, will be cut in half. And after that you find the corner and cut it off, so you have a new model. add some of this fabric glue, and until this is secured, you can add some contact glue that will dry after a few seconds to the edge and just fold it up. As you can see, this around the edge, this string is attached, and I just attached it by a little glue. And test all the LED strips, and if something isn't working, replace it by now, because later you are not able to do it. Here is the little pocket that we made earlier with the 5x5. Take some aluminum plate, thin aluminum, but not too thin, because mine actually is too thin, and that means that this rail won't hold the LED light just as good as it could be. So cut it up, and you can just use a utility knife and bend it, because it's a thin material. So now you have two pieces. In the middle, in the center of these, you need to measure a hole that is 1/4 inch thread size, and use a larger drill to avoid that you have any sharp edges in this hole. Cut off the corners so it will fit in the pocket that we showed later, and sand it down so it's not that sharp. And I also added some of the false leather to these edges, because then I'm sure that this sharp material won't destroy my fabric. Do a little test fit so you know that it works. Here you can see the fabric I put on the edges. Now you need to put on some tape around the edges, so you when you glue it up with this silicone glue, you won't glue onto the get any glue onto the LED light. You can see that I added painter's tape to the edge all around to make it hold. Because this is attached to that leather, this tape, when I peeled it off, the leather actually came off with it, so that was not good. At the corners, just cut it with a utility knife so you don't have any, so you can separate the glue from the fabric and the tape without destroying everything. Let's move on. So an upgrade to this, I put some magnets on the corners with a little glue, so it could be mounted on a metal area, and that should also be glued together with this silicone. So to dim the light, I have these two, which actually is used for motors, but can be used on this one as well, because they have a high frequency, so it won't flicker. So solder some black and red wires, and just solder it plus to plus and plus to minus. Then you can use one input for the voltage.
So thank you for watching. I hope you liked my little DIY video. There will be more in the future, so keep watching.